Hello, I'm Vara,
And I'm Roxy.
and you're listening to VCR. How are you doing, Roxy?
I'm doing all right.
Been a
Doing
good weekend so
all right.
doing all right. Had a good weekend so far.
Yeah, so far it's been pretty good.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. No weird, strange things popping up your way.
No, life is
No.
really boring right now.
Good, good, good. No log lady prophecies or rabbits wanting to share secrets.
No,
No.
nothing like that. No log
Okay.
lady prophecies or weird rabbits.
Weird rabbits. Okay, well, very cool. Today we're getting into the absolutely insane world of David Lynch. Then, in a way, you did get a prophecy. A rodent did give us a prophecy this weekend. It was Groundhog's Day, and apparently we got 6 more weeks of winter, according
Oh,
to. Yeah,
yay.
I know. Punktonian Phil says 6 more weeks of winter. So. Mm. So it's kind of interesting, kind of interesting. So we do get messages from rodents, much like David
Yeah,
Lynch's short film Rabbits, which is available on YouTube and a total trip to watch. Uh,
really strange.
very weird, weird.
I'm pretty sure I had a look of confusion and what the hell is this on my face
Yeah, me and
the whole
Roxy were
time.
looking at a little bit of it. I've seen it previously, and it's really bizarre. But then again, what works by David Lynch are not bizarre. Like David Lynch is just absolutely
He's just bizarre.
he is bizarre and he is incredible and he is
Hmm.
insane and he has kind of brought
Some
us
would say brilliant.
yeah, I would say he's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. But you can't get away with the visual dream-like sequences that he does without being as brilliant or messed up as he is, you know? But David Lynch, for those of you who have been living under a rock and have no idea who David Lynch is, he is the creator of such brilliant movies and weird, bizarre movies like Eraserhead, The Elephant Man, Blue Velvet, Holland Drive, so many others. I've never seen Holland Drive. I've seen the rest. The Elephant Man is my absolute favorite. But TV series wise, he is very famous for Twin Peaks, which is absolutely
Hmm.
one of my favorite series. It is brilliant. It is amazing. I know, like they in the mid 2000s, actually later, like not that long ago, in 2022, 23, they tried to finish up the story of Twin Peaks, and Twin Peaks was a series that ran for a few years. It was absolutely brilliant. Loved it. It was very addicting. But they just kind of up and ended it. They didn't
There was
go.
it like a good ending to it or anything?
No, they had just stopped mid fucking story. And I can't remember exactly what it was that stopped it. It was either David Lynch or the networks, but they just stopped. And so you never had the story completed. And then from the 90s up until 2022, I want to say, then they start to tell off the story.
Mm.
And the way the story ends, because it had been so long, because there's such a massive gap, I'm gonna say I wasn't as thrilled with the way they ended it. It was really, really confusing. Like I'm still confused about the ending to this day. But then again, if you have a theory you want to share it with me, I'd be glad to listen because the theories that they had online were really, really weird and really bizarre and didn't make any kind of sense to me. So, and this is more like, I don't know, I picture, some people who are into like that concept of other dimensions would really
Hmm.
love this because of the way Twin Peaks kind of starts off. I mean, it starts off as people call it a crime drama. It really isn't. It really, I mean, you have FBI detective showing up because there is a murder in this small town, right? But
Hmm.
then it becomes very bizarre because there's all these other sub stories and this thing called the Black Lodge, which is another dimension that Dale Cooper, who is the agent, gets sucked into, and then something transfers with him. So the good Dale Cooper is trapped in the Black Lodge, and this evil Dale Cooper comes out of it, and it kind of goes all over the place. And there's a demon involved with it, and there's all
Ooh.
this other stuff. So it gets really, really weird. And then you have the
Where
log
can I
lady,
stream this?
huh?
I said, where can I stream this?
Exactly. I mean, it was on Netflix for a good while. I don't know if it still is. I did make the mistake of buying the DVD version of the recontinuation of the story, which was just, I'm not gonna say it
Hulu,
was
Paramount,
terrible.
YouTube, Fubo, Amazon, and Fandango.
There you go.
So I
The
only watch it on Paramount.
yeah, but you got to watch the original, not the
Yeah,
not the
that's what I was looking for.
yeah, it
But
was
you have me. I'm interested now. I was too
yeah.
young to watch it when it came out. I was like maybe 9 or 10 years old. My mom would have never allowed that.
No, it's really bizarre, just really fucking bizarre. And now in the second version, I will say the dream sequences and the visuals are stunning. The story fell short, but the visuals are incredible. And then I got to give a shout out. David Bowie makes an appearance
Mm,
in the final story type of situation. So, and that was one of David Bowie's last projects before he passed away. So it was really just great. But again, it's bizarre. The way they ended it kind of killed me a little bit. But
mm.
again, it's David Lynch. It can't always be perfect. Uh, and that could have been one of his things too. But David Lynch did so many other things other than Twin Peaks. So me and Roxy were watching a little short called Rabbits, and Rabbits was already starting off a little too bizarre and a little too weird. But the other thing about it is, again, David Lynch, he has another short where it's him and a monkey, and it's just him and a monkey in a room, and it's kind of like a crime drama type of situation. And
Oh my God.
and it was just interesting, really, really interesting, because clearly this man's mind works on a different level visually and all
Hmm.
this other
For
stuff. And
sure.
I'm definitely going to say maybe a little drug induced, maybe because there are a lot of
It's
weirdnesses
a slight
going on
chance.
there. Yeah. If you want, honestly, like if you kind of want a good idea or a feel for David Lynch movies, you have to check out Elephant Man. Elephant Man really was a great, great movie, and it starred a very young Anthony Hopkins in it, or
Mm.
maybe mid-aged Anthony Hopkins in there. But he was part of it. It was a great story about, of course, the Elephant Man. But visually, it was great. It was all in black and white, and it was just absolutely brilliant. I think a lot of David Lynch movies kind of do that black and white type of thing because there's
Mm.
an extra element to eerie and creepy when you do black and white. And with the way he does things visually, that black and white kind of makes it pop a little bit more.
Yeah.
Makes you think, what the fuck is going on here?
What is
Uh,
happening?
yeah, like so the clips that we're watching from Eraserhead were kind of weird looking, but again, black and white type of situation. Then
Yeah.
you go into some more different stuff. But if you really want to kind of get a good idea of David Lynch films, I would say start with the original Twin Peaks. That came out, oh, I'm so sorry. That came out in 1990. That came out in 1990 and ran only for until 93 or 94. The thing is, I know that doesn't sound like a lot. I know you're thinking there's only like 12 episodes per a season. No, these were like massive episodes. So there's like, I think season one is over 26 episodes. Um, This thing
That's
is,
how they did them back then. Like you would
yeah,
have like 20 episodes per season.
yeah, damn near. I mean, you
Because
really
I remember
did.
like with Friends, every Friends season has like 20 something episodes.
Yeah, and Twin Peaks is no exception to the rule. But here's the beauty about it. I mean, it's longer, you get more out of it, like when you're
Hmm.
watching it, so you don't feel like, oh God, what? So the storyline is great. The plots are great. Like I said, it does get really bizarre. I mean, it really fucking gets bizarre. Because it's almost like what's happening in this dimension and what's happening in real life. And why doesn't this affect the real life thing, even though it's affecting a few other people here and there? It just gets really, really
Mm.
weird. So, it's something to totally check out. I want to say there's even some degree of aliens in here too. It got really bizarre. So Twin Peaks is a good starter, and then from there, jump into Elephant Man. Now, if you want to kind of do something a little more low pro and kind of like experiment with whether you want to jump into David Lynch or not. You can start with Rabbits. That is on YouTube kind of
I
for
don't know. I feel
free.
like that might deter some people because it
It
is
it
very strange.
it very well could because it's just a bizarre type of situation. Um, he's like I said, he's famous for more Twin Peaks and then Mulholland Drive. Mulholland Drive is a big one. A lot of people love Mulholland Drive. I myself have not seen Mulholland Drive.
Me
Um,
neither.
and I'm not exactly sure what it's about, but those are really good ones. Now, here's something that a lot of sci-fi people are going to lose their mind about. David Lynch did the original Dune. So,
Mm.
not the new one that you're seeing all over the place now.
Zendaya?
The original Dune that started it all, that was David Lynch. So if you kind of want, if you've already experienced that and you're familiar with Sting and a Speedo, then yeah, there you go.
Thank you, Speedo.
That's David Lynch right there. And I gotta say, Sting didn't look bad in a Speedo. It was a weird Speedo though, because it was like this overgrown type of piece on top of it with wings, and I'm like, what the fuck is that, Sting? But
Wing?
it had wings. It's David Lynch. What can you say? The Speedo had wings. But like and the spice and everything, all that was David Lynch. So he also did Dune, the original one, which everyone loves that because that's what's kind of sparked this whole new Dune type of, oh my God, I'm in love with it.
Resurgence.
Yeah, the original was David Lynch. So you may already be a little familiar with his weirdness and bizarre way of doing things. I'm actually gonna look
Bizarre.
up the one, another short that was kind of weird, with the monkey. I want to say it was Who is Jake or Where is Jake with the monkey. So let me do that really quick. David Lynch with monkey. Now, the one thing that we did discover is he kind of had a music career. Uh, kind of.
Yeah.
Me and Roxy explored that for a minute.
Yeah.
Um, that was Roxy. Were your feelings on that?
Not really for me.
Nah, was it?
I mean, musical genius,
I'm
but
sure
not my style though.
not your style. I will say that the lyrics were we, and it wasn't even the lyrics. It was the voice. It was the
The
voice
voice.
that
I
was
was
kind of
like,
killing me.
I kept waiting for it to change and get like, and then that become like the background. You know what I mean?
Mm, yes.
And it didn't. And I was like, what's happening? What is this?
No. Now the beats, the rhythm, that was actually pretty good.
That's
So,
why like I was bopping my head. I was like, okay. And then I just kept waiting for something to
and then
happen.
and then
And
the
it was that weird voice.
yeah, it was it was like a David Lynch voice but more high pitched, and it was just bizarre. And we listened to
Well,
a couple of them.
somebody's shirt,
Yes, Susie,
somebody's red shirt.
the song was Crazy Clown Times, and apparently Paulie
I had a
uh
red shirt.
had a red shirt, and then Susie ripped her shirt off
She took it off
completely.
completely.
And
Yeah.
and those are the lyrics, and I was like, okay, but it was that high pitched David Lynch voice that was killing me
Just,
too. But he did have a music career, so I can't say that he didn't. He did.
yeah,
And apparently a lot of different songs. There's a lot of different songs in there.
more than I
Um,
was expecting.
a lot more, definitely a lot more. And then we tried to play with it to see what it was. I was like, oh, no, that's okay.
No, no, we're all
No,
right.
no.
It's
So
fine.
the little short film that involving David Lynch and a monkey is called Who is Jack? Or no, I'm sorry, What is Jack? Let me double check that. Is it who or what? It is sorry, What Did Jack Do is what it's called. What did Jack do? And you can see that on Netflix or you can see it on YouTube. But it's a crime moment between him and a monkey. uh, where I think the monkey has done something and he's like a detective trying to resolve to save this monkey's life. And it was interesting.
Sounds
It
stunning.
is. It's something that Roxy should totally get
I
into.
should totally watch that. I think I
Totally jump
might.
all over that.
What's it called again?
It's called What Did Jack Do?
What did Jack do? Okay, I'll
Mhm.
have to look for that. I
It's
wonder where
and
I can stream it.
it's on Netflix.
Is it?
It is on Netflix and it
Okay.
is on YouTube.
Well, all right then. I know what I'll be watching next.
Yep. So what did Jack do in case any of you want to kind of like get
What
into
did he
that?
do?
Huh? Yeah,
What did he do?
I think he killed somebody if I remember it correctly, but I
Oh,
could be
dang it.
wrong. I could be wrong. It was a bizarre thing, and then Jack's wife shows up, and I was like, "Oh my God, what is happening here?" So which you will ask yourself, what is happening here? And the thing is, you should ask yourself that in any David Lynch movie, like what is happening here? If you're
What?
not asking that, there may be something wrong with you because if you're able to follow it or understand it, I'm gonna go with you might have a problem.
Might be a psychopath. No.
You may need to talk to somebody because even I will watch Twin Peaks a few times. I'm like, love it. Great. Addicted. I don't fucking understand what's happening.
What the hell is going on?
Like, what the fuck was that? Why is there a brain on a tree and it's and everyone else can understand it except for me? And then the evil brain pops up and I was like, what the fuck is going on here? Um, why did this man just squeeze himself out of a power outlet? Like, that, yeah, that kind of shit. Oh,
That
so
sounds insane.
it's totally fucking insane. It's something that you kind of have to watch. But I do highly recommend Twin Peaks as being a perfect starter to your David Lynch exposure there.
Mhm.
But again, if you want to do the short versions, knock yourself out.
I'm on
Those
YouTube.
those are pretty good too. They're bizarre, but they are pretty good.
Yeah.
I know
And I'll
Roxy's
be
first.
looking up a couple things to watch.
Yeah, and David Lynch did do some voiceover work. He was in the Cleveland show, out of all things.
I was so surprised to find that. I was
Yeah.
like, well, what? The Cleveland show?
He was the bartender in the Cleveland show. And there was this one card. I wish I could play it. I wish to God I could play it without YouTube being like, we're going to limit what you do.
Hmm.
But there's this skit in the Cleveland show where it's Christmas. David Lynch comes down the chimney and there's a little boy there and he gives the boy a package and the boy opens up the present and it's a severed thumb. And David Lynch is like, oh, no, no, it's okay. Just let the fear wash over you. It's all right. Live in the moment. I was
Oh
like,
my
I was like,
gosh.
that is a total David Lynch thing to say. Just let the fear wash over you and
Wash
live in the
over.
moment. And I was
I'm
like, what
fine.
the fuck? I was like, and then at the end, it was like, now, did you leave the saucer of coffee that I requested? And the little boy's like, no, I was expecting Santa. He's like, in the future, leave a saucer of coffee. I requested. Like, the fuck is
Oh my
going on?
God, that's funny.
But between David Lynch and Seth MacFarlane, that was pretty damn good. And you
Yeah.
got to admit that that has to be David Lynch, like agreeing to make fun of himself, because clearly that's something weird Seth MacFarlane wrote,
Hmm.
and being a good sport and just being, yeah, it's a severed thumb. Just let the fear wash over you. Live in the moment. I'm
That
like, what the fuck is going
is
on?
wild.
Uh, Now, do you have the saucer of coffee? I request. Like, who the fuck
Where
drinks a
did
saucer of coffee?
That's funny.
But well, I mean, David Lynch was a constant. One of the things that he had, the addictions that we are aware of. He loved cigarettes and he
Mhm.
loved coffee. Cigarettes and coffee were his thing.
I can understand him on one of those things.
Yes, yeah. So he totally.
I guess on two, because I did smoke at one point.
Yeah, I think we all did. I used to smoke cigars back in the day, and now I
Ew.
don't so much. Ew. Oh, so it's okay for you to smoke, but not okay for me to smoke.
No, smoking cigarettes was disgusting too.
Mm-hmm. Mrs. Ew.
Ew, yeah. Even when I say it, I'm like, ew, I can't believe I used to do that.
Ew.
I can't believe I used to be one of those people that woke up at 8 a.m. and lit a cigarette. Like, what?
Oh wow, you were that kind of person? Okay, see, I wasn't.
Yeah.
Like I would have a cigarette with my cousins or a cigar with but that was normally later in the evening when we're fucking around.
No,
I
I
never
was early
woke
in the
up
morning
and said,
smoker.
"Let me light up real quick." Yeah, I never did
I
that.
mean, I guess nothing's really changed except for what I smoke in the morning.
Ew.
No longer nicotine. Now it's THC.
Yeah. I'm gonna be oohing Roxy from now on as she ews me
Ew,
all the
so
fucking
gross.
time.
So disgusting.
No, nasty, yeah. But yeah, so those, and that's kind of sadly also what leads to David Lynch's passing not that long
Yes,
ago. David Lynch
yeah.
passed away from when you get this recording, maybe 2 to 3 weeks ago, if not a full month by now.
Mm-hmm.
But
Wow.
he had passed away of emphysema, and as we all know, that's caused by the joys
By
of,
the smokers,
yeah,
joys of smoking ciggies,
yeah,
cigarettes.
the cool, rich taste of
Gross.
of
No,
tobacco.
but I remember.
Hit your lungs and it's like, ugh. So yeah, he passed away of emphysema, which is sad. I think he was in
Yeah,
the
that is
middle.
very sad. That is very
Yeah,
sad.
he was working in the middle of a project, and I think he had, but like as up in years as he was in
Yeah.
his 70s. He was still doing stuff. I mean, the man was, like I said, brilliant, very dedicated to what he was doing. Visually. He's on another plane. I gotta tell you, visually. So if you watch Twin Peaks, the new one that came out in 2022 or something like that, there's some scenes in there that involve these spirit demony-esque type of things that
Mm.
are out in New Mexico. And the reason that they're out in New Mexico is because of the atomic bomb testing. So
Mhm.
apparently one of the sub-stories is that this bomb went off and there's like some homeless people living in the test area and they died there. And so now they are these shadowy, demony looking things that wreak
Oh.
havoc on people. And but visually what he did, so he took the old footage of the testing footage, and I shit you not, it was 40 fucking minutes of explosion and the houses disintegrating
Oh
and
my
then the
gosh.
cosmos. But the way he shot it was so visually remarkable. Like when the smoke comes out to disintegrate everything,
Mm.
your thoughts are of water
Oh
rushing. Like
wow.
the way he did it was just so spectacular. And then there's an episode where it's trying to tell a story visually about what happened to this. There's this woman who gets She was in the original, she was this Asian woman who was having an affair with one of the wealthy guys, and
Hmm.
she gets trapped in a
Oh shit.
necklace. Don't don't ask me why or how. She gets trapped in this fucking necklace. And now she is floating in space, out in some type of weird
In the necklace?
in the necklace, floating in space, because there's another dimension in the necklace that she's living in this weird, I don't want to call it spacecraft, but it's weird. She's living in it. It's out in space. She there to meet her purpose is to meet Dale Cooper and guide him all these years later. But the thing is, she has no eyes. They're like flesh has grown over
Oh
her eyes
no.
type of situation. And but the thing is, what's happening cosmos wise? After we leave that story, we're floating just into nothing but cosmos.
Mm.
It is so visually stunning. I mean, if you're someone, I don't, as Roxy will tell you, I'm anti-drug anything.
Hmm.
But that is the kind of visuals you probably want to be high for when you're watching it. You may want to like light up or just mellow out with something because visually, I mean, just as a guy who doesn't do anything, I was like, what the fuck? That was trippy. So, David Lynch
I
visually
think I'm
was
gonna watch it.
brilliant, whole other world. Um, he says he would practice a certain type of meditation that would
Mm.
allow him to kind
Tap
of
into those.
yes, to make his visions stronger. And then, of course, he'd have the issue of trying to create that in reality. Uh, but he said that he meditated every day and he would do these affirmations, and they were just basic affirmations like "You are a good person and
Yeah.
you're going to do great today," and everything you do is going to be magnificent. So, because that's my best David Lynch impersonation. But
It
like
sounded just like that song.
it has to be like I can't get that high of a no, my octaves cannot get that high. But he would do stuff like that. And so he was a spiritual person just in a different sense. Matter of fact, he said something about and what's going to drive me nuts now that I know it. So David Lynch apparently read something in the Bible, a line from the Bible that helped him complete the vision for Eraserhead. And now I want to know what that line is.
What line was it?
But he won't tell anyone, and now he can't. And I'm like, damn it, David, just tell me.
Please?
Like anything. Because
Come to me
Eraserhead
and
is
tell
is
me what line it was.
yes, exactly. Eraserhead is a trip. There are a lot of industrial black kind of gothic background things going on. And you
Mm.
see that throughout his works. Even in Twin Peaks, you see this industrial gothic-y type of thing going on. Um, but it's beautiful. It's so beautiful. So I'm gonna stop gushing over David Lynch real quick because clearly I might be a fan. I don't
I
know.
maybe a little, like
Just
not, I
fanboying a
mean,
little. I was really upset when I saw it on my Facebook that David Lynch had passed away, and I was like, no,
yeah.
absolutely not.
You're like, I refuse to accept this.
And I was like, this is a joke. And then I was like, because this should be all over Facebook, and I just saw the one, and then I started Googling. I was like, fuck, David Lynch is gone. Fuck.
Hmm.
I'm such a David Lynch fan, but maybe I'll start a David Lynch festival in his honor
Yeah.
somewhere, you know. Just never know, never
Sure,
know.
you could find a lot of people
Yes, I'm sure I can find a very,
at
very
the
bizarre
event.
place. Yeah, to do that. Call up some David Lynch people to have a
Hmm.
David Lynch, festival. We'll start it's about time. The VCR show should start a festival. We go to all these festivals and conventions. We should start a David Lynch convention festival. Copy written by the VCR show. Go fuck yourself if you try to start it after this.
That's funny.
We will get royalties, damn it. So yeah, but yeah, that's that we should do that. We'll powwow over that and kind of bring our own thing going on there. But
Hmm.
anyway, uh If you, let's say, have a David Lynch movie or a David Lynch moment that kind of inspired you, and it was like, oh my God, this is why I wake up and do drugs every day. Let us know here at the VCR show. You can hit us up at our email, which is thevcrshow.com. I mean, sorry, that's our website, thevcrshow.com. And then, or you can email us to thevcrshow@gmail.com and hit up our social medias, the VCR Show, the YouTube channel, the VCR Show. And you can hit up Roxy at the VCR Show. No, I'm kidding. You can hit her up at her own social medias and be like, hey, Roxy, you want to go hang out with some rabbits and get some black coffee and some damn fine pie. This is some damn fine pie. This is the best black coffee. That all comes from Twin Peaks. I know Roxy's like, what the fuck are you
I was like,
rambling about?
what? Uh,
It is one of the most famous lines from Twin Peaks. This is damn good pie and black coffee. Like it's the best black coffee Del Cooper has ever had in his life. It's a trip. You got to watch it. You just have to. But if you want to hit her up and take her out for coffee and pie, you can do
Coffee and
so.
pie. Damn good
Damn
coffee and
good
pie.
pie at her website and her social medias. No website. I'm sorry.
No
At her,
website on
I'm
social
tired,
media.
people. I am so tired. Anyway, at her social medias, which are
On Facebook at Roxy Perez Curvy Model, on Instagram at PopRocks428, and on TikTok at the Pop Rocks. And Pop Rocks is spelled POPROXX.
and as always, I'm Vara,
And I'm Roxy.
and you've been listening to VCR.
Bye.
Bye. If I could afford it, this is where I would play the theme song to Twin Peaks and then just leave us with edited visuals of the
Right?
cosmos. So it was like, but no,
But
copyright
no.
laws say have to have permission. Bye.
Bye.
Just let the fear wash over you. Need some sweet treats for your next big event? Or maybe you just have a sweet tooth. Check out Skippity Cakes. That's Skippity Cakes, SKIPPITYCAKES.com. Check them out for all of your sweet treat needs, things such as cakes, cupcakes, and cake pops. Also, check them out for their varieties of face masks, t-shirts, and coffee mugs. Say hi to our friend Rosie for us. You have been listening to VCR, creative content by Richard Christopher Vara and Roxy Perez. Logo by Richard Christopher Vara with assistance from Annie Ramirez. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can reach us at thevcrshow@gmail.com or our social medias at Instagram and Twitter at the VCR Show. And you can also check out our content at thevcrshow.com. The show song is Addict by Nefex, instrumental, and you can find them on YouTube Music Library.